When I was about 6 years old, I had this delightful step-grandmother. We went to play hide-and-go-seek in the town cemetery, and the groundskeeper there ran us off, saying, "This is not a playground." And she said, "Well then, we'll go off to our cemetery." So she goes down the pathway and then through a stand of trees, and there were these graves, and it was magic. Oh my God, the whole little city of Sedgwicks taking their heavenly rest.
I was raised by my mom, 2 sisters, single mom. We were on welfare. My father left when I was 2. He was supposed to come and visit us regularly, and he maybe came a handful of times as we were children. I feel like I gave him one last chance when I was in my mid-20s, and I wanted a car. I really needed a car, and he was a used car salesman, and he wouldn't even take my calls. Then that was when I knew there would never be anything.
Sedgwicks have this unusual funeral procession. Like almost everything we do, there's a lot of ritual to it. And it consists of placing the body or the ashes into a large casket, which is covered over with the Sedgwick pall, purple and white, and then taken by horse-drawn cart to the Episcopal Church. And then the long processional down Main Street, very slow, led invariably by my father. He was always the lead mourner, and we all pass by the grave and we get a clump of the soil and drop it into the grave.
My mom, it was never, "Oh, that horrible man." She never did that. Even if she was thinking it, she would never let us see that. I remember it was a Sunday evening, and my mother called me and said that my Aunt Christine had called her and that our father was dying. We hadn't talked to any of that side of the family for years and years. My mother picked me up. My mother doesn't speed, but she sped that night. And my sister got a ride in. I just went because I felt that I would regret it if I didn't. And all I did was just said goodbye. And he was on a lot of drugs, and he was really out of it, so I don't even think that he knew who I was. He was on his 5th wife when he died. My sister actually stayed with him all night, and she was holding his hand when he died.
After my dad died, I was 21. I was standing with my brothers, both tall, strapping men, and they were belting out the hymn, "Our mighty fortress is our God." Well, I just buckled. I can remember sitting in a chair and crying so hard that I saw stars. I missed him so desperately to this day.
My mother, I can't even think of a time when she didn't protect us from everything for our whole lives. She made sure we went to college. She gave up everything. So putting us first and just being strong enough and willing to drive us to New Hampshire that night to make sure we were there on the night that he died. I do remember that she leaned over and kissed him on the cheek and forgave him. And I think she did that for us, so that we would forgive him. She wasn't doing it for herself.
I think everybody is trying to measure up and fit in. I think that is what we're all trying for in this world. In a certain way, the dead do stay with us. And that's the blessing of this family, and I think potentially it's a blessing of other families. They live in us. They live in me, and it's a struggle. And I think that without that, it wouldn't have the value that it does. A quest for understanding and for reunion.
Caring is hard. Caring takes effort and courage. Love and trying to understand is so much better.